Hello, this is Dave Nadler with the National Weather Service in Peachtree City, Atlanta, here to talk about the weekly weather briefing for North and Central Georgia. Today is Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. Here are the main highlights. We are watching a system and an approaching cold front that will generate some showers and storms across the area through early Thursday. The risk for severe weather is low, but we could see a few strong to marginally severe storms develop later this afternoon and into the evening hours as this system in cold front moves across the area. But we're not expecting any widespread severe weather with this event. Following this system moving through, expect drier and cooler weather to move in tomorrow night and through the weekend. And then by the end of the weekend into early next week, we will be watching another slow-moving cold front, which could bring some additional showers back to the area, mainly across North Georgia for early next week, Monday, Tuesday. And then following that, there's things that are pointing to a much cooler, below normal temperatures by the middle part of next week. So here's the latest scenario right now. We are watching, this is a satellite imagery from between about 11 o'clock this morning till about 11:25. We're watching a pretty significant cold front that's still back across parts of Missouri and Illinois. You could see, based on the satellite, that there is a decent line of showers and thunderstorms out ahead of that front. Then there's another area, this first wave, that's across parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and then moving into western Georgia. This will be the first round of showers and storms that are expected to impact parts of north and central Georgia later today into this evening, followed by, as the front continues to move to the south and east later today and tonight, there could be another round of storms that holds together as it approaches from the northwest that could impact parts of north and central Georgia later tonight. But there are indications that this line of storms moving through tonight with the cold front will fall apart or weaken just a little bit overnight, loss of daytime heating, and moving farther away from the main center of low pressure, which is way up over the Great Lakes at this time. So here's the latest radar. Again, this is around about 11:15 this morning on Wednesday. That's this first area of showers and storms that we're watching. We'll continue to move to the east, northeast, overspreading much of north and central Georgia later this afternoon into this evening. Generally speaking, severe weather threat is fairly low, but there could be a few stronger storms, mainly to the west central, and southwest part of the area that could develop. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Generally speaking, we expect rainfall amounts to range from a quarter to about a half an inch with this activity as it moves across the area later today into this evening. Now here's the latest severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. You can see not expecting any widespread significant severe weather out of this system. SPC agrees with that, and so for just parts of the area, mainly the western half of the state, there's a marginal risk to see a few stronger to isolated severe thunderstorms capable of producing hail up to 1 inch in diameter and stronger winds greater than 40 miles per hour. But generally speaking, any storms that do move across the area later today into tonight could be some brief gusty winds up to 30, locally heavy rain, and of course the cloud to ground lightning threat. Could see some small hail, pea-sized hail with the general thunderstorms, but overall, again, not expecting a big deal with respect to severe weather with this event tonight. Expected rainfall, again, just a snapshot of what we're kind of looking at. Generally a quarter to half inch across the area through tonight into early Thursday morning. We could see locally higher amounts, especially across parts of northwest Georgia, if that line of storms associated with the cold front actually holds together. So that's something for folks north of I-85 and I-20 just to keep an eye on later tonight. Again, with this rainfall, we're not expecting any major flood issues from rivers and streams or even flash flooding. It's been so long since we've seen any measurable rainfall. The grounds will definitely be able to absorb any 1 to 2, even 2+ inches amount of rain that could fall across the area through tomorrow morning. Looking at temperatures, basically this is behind the front, so tomorrow night into early Friday, we expect low temperatures to drop into the 40s and low 50s across much of the area. That's that colder air coming in behind the front. And on Friday, we do rebound a little bit back into the 70s for most areas, some mid to upper 60s across the higher elevations of northeast Georgia. Friday night, seasonably cool with temperatures dropping down into the mid to upper 40s down to the lower 50s across parts of central and south Georgia. And then on Saturday, we do warm up back to just above normal for this time of year, seeing temperatures approach 80, even lower 80s across parts of central and south Georgia on Saturday. So we do dry out, but the cooler air will kind of be short-lived as we warm back up for this weekend. And looking ahead to Sunday, another fairly mild, warm day for mid-October with temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s across north and central Georgia. And then on Monday, we see the effects potentially of that slow-moving cold front start to approach the area. High temperatures on Monday with some cloud cover and maybe some light showers across the north will only be in the mid to upper 60s all the way to the upper 70s across parts of central Georgia, farther away from the front. And then looking even farther ahead into Monday night through Tuesday and Wednesday next week, you can see the effects of that secondary cold front moving through, dropping temperatures back into the 40s across much of north and central Georgia, even some 30s across the higher elevations of north Georgia. High temperatures on Tuesday, cool, 50s and 60s for highs expected with that front moving through. So that's slightly below normal, actually quite a bit below normal for high temperatures, where we should be generally in the 70s, upper 60s and 70s. We'll see 50s and 60s potentially on Tuesday. And Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, we see 30s for a good chunk of the area, and parts of far north Georgia, especially in the higher elevations, could potentially see the first freeze of the year. So something to keep an eye on. Nothing crazy at this point, but definitely we'll be watching it over the next 5-6 days, as by the middle of next week we could see some of the colder temperatures of this season so far. Now, a quick look at the drought monitor. We are seeing an increasing area of D0 to a few D1 moderate drought spots. Don't expect this to change at all, even with the rainfall that we're expected to see later today into tonight. But hopefully it'll keep, from seeing these D0, D1 areas from expanding too much, as the next release of this monitor will be tomorrow on Thursday, October 13th. The latest on the tropics, relatively quiet, which is good news. There's a tropical storm Carl just east of the Mexican coast there in the Gulf of Mexico. Looking at the forecast for Carl, you can see no real threat to the United States, as it is actually drifting to the south over the next couple of days. And the 5-day outlook is not looking at any focused area of activity. So that's certainly good news for the tropics at this time. And then in summary, once again, we're watching the system move through later today through tonight and into early Thursday. Showers and thunderstorms are expected. The risk for severe weather is relatively low, but we could see a couple of stronger to marginally severe storms pop up later this afternoon and through tonight. Drier, cooler air will move in Thursday night and continue through the weekend. High temperatures moderate quite a bit by Saturday and Sunday, but low temperatures will feel very comfortable with the drier air in place. And then as we head into early next week, we'll be watching another cold front approaching from the north, which could bring a few showers to parts of the area, especially across North Georgia early next week. But definitely by the middle of next week, if this front does move through, we could see some of the coldest temperatures of this fall season so far, as we drop into the 30s and 40s by Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and this information will be recorded and saved on our local YouTube channel, National Weather Service, Peachtree City, Atlanta, and there's different ways that you can connect with us. We thank you once again and hope that everybody has a wonderful day, rest of the week, and weekend.